I'm Leonie.
And I'm Crystal-Dior.
And today we're talking about boundaries.
Boundaries. Those aren't your people.
With coworkers.
Yes.
So,
I'm excited about this.
Yeah, so let's start with our one-liners because I'm ready to get into this.
Go ahead, girl.
Okay. So, some coworkers don't have home training. So I make sure they get a crash course on We're Not Family 101.
A little harsh.
I'm just saying, we're not family. This is work, guys.
It's work. It's work. All right, here goes mine. Every therapist knows your client ain't your friends.
Ain't your friends.
Okay.
I don't want to be friends with my therapist because I need to be in a professional mindset.
You'll be surprised how many people do, though. Like,
I mean, so my therapist, I met her outside of therapy first, and she's awesome. She's like the cutest, baddest little therapist.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay, I love this, but I need some actual help. Mm-hmm. So we're gonna have to cut the chummy chumminess out, because I'm gonna make you my therapist.
Yeah. I mean, my nature in therapy, I'm very direct and very kind of like the way I talk to a lot of my friends, to be honest. And so sometimes they're like, but you're cool. I'm like, yeah, but I'm your therapist.
Right. Yeah.
Let's be clear.
Yes, because you don't want to.
Don't buy me things.
You don't want any of those relational things conflicting with your with the help you need.
No,
you don't want to add any biases.
It always needs to be a safe space.
Yeah.
So I think that goes for work too. Mm-hmm, you know what I mean? Like, don't add me on Facebook. Don't add me on Instagram. Like, there should be a safe space where I can live my own life outside of this, and it's not impacting my job. Right. So that's the same thing with therapists and clients. Like, I don't want to be involved in your world. I want you to have a safe space. You're not worried about my opinion. It's the same for work. Right.
Now, so is this to say, though, that you can't have like best friends that come from work?
You can, but I think those are rare occasions. Mm-hmm. It's not the common. I think those are rare occasions. But even then, like, still be a little careful in the beginning. Make sure that you're not sharing too many deep secrets. Right. That, Right. Like, are you really besties, or is this, make sure you're both on the same page.
Yes.
When it comes to that. Because sometimes.
Right. Because then you tell all your business and then the whole office knows about it. Or then you all start
or they get a promotion over you, or you get a promotion over them. Now you ain't best friends no more.
Right. Things
now
start
your
to
best
get
friend, your boss.
Weird. Yes.
Awkward.
Yes.
So still be kind of.
Right. Still, tote the line easily.
Be careful.
Okay.
But. Go ahead. Let's jump into Who Said That.
Who said that? Oh, yeah, it is. Okay. Mm-hmm. So, I forgot it was mine. Okay.
Do you know who it is?
Yeah. Okay. I have to remember. Okay. So, this person says, no is a complete sentence. Who said that?
I think it's a housewife. It's a reality star.
It is not.
It's not?
So, this person is a woman.
Okay.
They are in entertainment.
Okay.
They're a TV producer.
Oprah?
No. We always start with Oprah.
I know. That's so bad. We need more Oprahs.
Okay.
It's a woman, though.
Yes. She has several hit TV shows.
Shonda Rhimes.
Yes.
Shonda!
Shonda Rhimes says no is a complete sentence. Okay?
She does boundaries well. I don't know nothing about her life.
I don't, actually. What happened with that thing with Disney? Didn't something happen with them where she set a boundary and I don't know.
With her Netflix?
It wasn't through Netflix. I
know she had a boundary with Grey's Anatomy.
What is it?
I just know they weren't trying to do whatever she was trying to do, so she's like, no problem, I'm going to go to Netflix.
I think she did that with Disney.
That's ABC. That's Disney.
Okay. So she's definitely one that's like, don't mess with me.
But even like when it comes to, her being a public figure and us, her entertainment is still her job, right? So even when it comes to that, I know nothing about her life.
That's good.
I don't see her. Mm-hmm. I don't know if she's married or not.
And as soon as your life gets too public, you was snit. Remember how she cut Columbus short? He just died out of nowhere after all that drama came out about him?
She is strict with her boundaries, and I ain't mad at it. I am not mad at
it. This is mess. And one thing I don't do is mess. You're chopped.
Even recently, Miley Cyrus, who I love her. I don't know why I do. I like how feisty she is. But she was saying one thing that she realizes is a cool part of her every day is texting Beyonce.
Miley Cyrus said that?
Yeah.
Okay.
She was like, both of us have had to tighten up what we share with the outside world recently. So our conversations are a safe space.
Oh, that's sweet.
And I was like, boundaries.
But why are you just now recently tightening up? Y'all been famous forever.
Well, I don't know. She said, well, she was a little wild for a minute.
She was.
So she recently means...
She still seems like she is wild.
She's like more in the
She was at the Grammys. When she was at the Grammys this past year, she was like, that speech. I'm like, what? What are you saying?
I love it. And then when she was singing, she said, y'all, don't act like you don't know the words to this song.
Oh my God. I'm like, I want to know what was going... I
think a part of it's just her personality.
It is.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So she's going to be true to herself, but I guess she's not telling all her business the way
right. But I can tell you were cutting loose behind the scenes, Miley. If that's... I can tell from that stage presence.
You know, Miley is Miley. You know, she going to be Miley. But apparently she's being more close-lipped.
Right. What they did
Maybe she's learning from Beyonce with that.
I was about to say what they're doing is getting tighter NDAs.
Yeah.
Behind the scenes, so none of the shenanigans come to the forefront.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we're gonna do story time again.
Yes, we have another story time. I'm so excited.
So these ones are not our stories.
Yes.
Last week we shared our stories. This week we shared some of our listeners' stories.
Yes.
So and our friends' stories. It'll be a mix of things, but Leonie's going to read the first one, so let's jump in it.
Yes, and I haven't read this, so it's going to be news to me as it is for you. So, should I invite my employee to my birthday? So that's what we're starting off with. This person asks or says, I'm managing a small team and we're all pretty tight. We're around the same age and our work relationship is more like a bunch of friends hanging out than a typical boss-employee thing. So when my birthday rolled around, I thought, why not invite them on a little road trip to Austin?
No, girl.
It's my birthday, and we deserve some fun, right?
Nope.
Well, the party was lit, but one of my employees got way too lit.
Yeah.
She drank so much that it was beyond embarrassing. We all laughed it off the next day, like no big deal. You know, some of us get a little loose sometimes. But then at our next company meeting, she overindulged again.
Oh, that's the problem.
Fast forward a few weeks and things got wild. She didn't show up to work one day. And instead of texting herself, her friend, also my employee, texts saying she got a family emergency. But wait, it gets juicier. An hour later, her boyfriend texts me that she's actually in jail for a DUI.
Too much information. Never tell your boss that.
Why is your boyfriend texting your boss, girl?
Continue.
To top it off, she calls me herself to come clean about the whole jail situation. I'm just like, whoa. Whoa. I tell her it's her business if she wants to share it, but I haven't told anyone. Mm-hmm. She insists on being honest.
Oh no, it always be those. I'm covering for you.
I'm covering for you. Don't get me in trouble. What is wrong with you?
Okay.
I'm just like, well, I tell her it's her business if she wants to share it, but I haven't told anyone. She insists on being honest. Okay, we said this. We said that. But I'm secretly hoping she keeps it on the down low since I've been keeping quiet.
Yeah.
So this supervisor is a ride or die. Because she's like, I'm not going to tell on you. But don't you be getting all the guilty conscience and tell on yourself. And then I get told on. Now, here's where it gets tricky. Her behavior is all over the place. She's taking off with her employees for these long, unexplained lunch breaks. And I'm sitting here wondering what to do. The lines between professional and friendly are blurred like crazy. Mm-hmm. And I'm stuck trying to balance being the cool manager and maintaining some sort of order. Do I pull her aside for a serious chat? Do I lay down some new ground rules? It's a tight rope walk, and I'm like trying to figure it out. So what would y'all do in my shoes? Woo!
It's hard because this employee has already showed you she wants to come, like she already gives you that I want to come clean energy. Mm-hmm. So even if you try to have a stern talk with her and she doesn't like that, she might try to come clean. You know what I mean? Like I feel like she's in so deep.
Right. She's feeling it. She's feeling the feels because she's been out here wilding, and clearly she's got some struggles with drinking. Yeah. So she's probably also feeling like that is definitely mixed in it too. The maybe guilt that she may be feeling from that, and not being able to hold your liquor. So,
if I was close to my boss,
right,
or if there's someone superior to me who I was close with, I would probably come clean to them and cover myself. But in this situation, this employee is like a risk.
Yes.
And if she goes down, she's going to take you down too.
Yes.
And so it's better to be ahead of it.
So you said you would tell your boss?
Yeah.
If you were the supervisor?
I wouldn't go through all the details of the DUI situation, but I would be like, hey, we went to a birthday party, so lines have been blurred. Now I feel like I'm unable to check some of her behavior. How should I proceed? I don't know if I would mention the DUI. I wouldn't pull her out like that, but I would want to at least put something on record that, like, I'm having a hard time with this. Because if out the blue, the girl just, I don't know.
So what this doesn't say, it says, do I pull her aside for a serious chat? Do I lay down some new ground rules? Yes. Yes and yes. So before I would go take it to whoever my direct report is, I would talk to this person and I'm saying, I really appreciate the relationship that that has grown between us over some time. And so with that, knowing that we have some sort of relationship, I want to be honest with you.
Yeah.
You are doing too much. You're doing the most. And I need you to reel it in. Because
go ahead, continue.
Because at the end of the day, I'm rooting for you, but this is a workplace environment and there are policies and there's a code of conduct we need to uphold to. Yeah. So let's keep it cute. Or I'm going to have to write you up, or I'm going to have to let you go. And it's as simple as that. Nothing personal, but we got to keep this business.
Yeah. And maybe even offering, since you've made it like we're friends, maybe offering some sort of support like, hey, I've noticed the drinking on this occasion and this occasion.
Yeah.
Now you're dealing with things with the DUI and all that comes with that. I know you need this job to pay for legal fees with that. So how can I help you to show up in this environment in a better way?
Right.
Because although I am not trying to get you in trouble, there's people beyond me who are seeing your behavior.
Yes.
And I'm trying my best to cover for you, but there's only so much that I can do without also getting in trouble and you getting in trouble.
Right.
So, like, how do we do this? Like, how can we be more transparent? Like, I think if you come with empathy and, like, I wouldn't even mention firing her because she might be like, oh, you know what I mean? So, like, how do I help you?
I would mention firing if you're getting drunk on the job. Like, the fact that you're not fired already is the grace. So,
but she a wild card. She might, like, turn up if you mention fired.
Then, if you want to turn up, then get fired. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I just don't want to go down with her.
Okay, so this is when you have to CYA at the same time. You tell her this, and if she want to get buck, then that's your time. You see the feathers popping up.
Yeah,
you go to your supervisor and say, like, I've had a conversation with so and so about her behavior. That this has happened A, B, and C. Don't give it. Don't be vague, but don't give too much as well.
Don't self-incriminate.
But
if it's not a paper trail that you knew, you don't know. Phone calls don't count. I don't remember that phone call.
But it's like, at the end of the day, it's like, if you're a supervisor and you're trying to take it to your direct report, right? And say your direct report is like, why didn't I hear it sooner? It's like, well, as her supervisor, I was handling it, and I was giving her grace in this area, and we had a conversation about it. But now things are seeming like they're kind of like, not able to control. So I want to let you know so that we can make this a team effort type of thing.
Yeah, that's good. But so should you invite your employee to your birthday party?
No, you should not invite your, especially if they got a drinking problem. Now, she didn't know she had she was going to be, heavy handed on the liquor.
If it's a work birthday party, absolutely. If it's an after hours.
Yeah, you're not. Well, I'm not inviting you to my personal friends and family birthday party as somebody that at work. You know what I'm saying? Unless we are really, really have a strong relationship.
Like, I was invited to a boss's wedding.
Okay.
She invited all of us, and even at the wedding, like, I was the most straight and narrow person at this wedding. Like,
that's funny.
I didn't want half the company was at this wedding.
Okay.
And I'm like,
why is the whole company at the wedding?
She invited everybody. She had no friends.
Oh.
So she invited everybody to this wedding. So I had a good time. I left a little early. I ate, had some cake, left a little early. Because we're not, you know what I mean?
A rule of thumb, don't have more than 2 drinks at a work event.
Yeah. I had nothing. I had some apple cider with the kids. Because I was like, I need this job.
Yes.
But let's jump to our next story time.
Yes, let's do it.
How do I set boundaries with my coworker?
Okay.
Let's jump into it.
Mm-hmm.
I have a coworker, Adam, not his real name, who I feel has crossed the line a lot of times. I'm not sure how to deal with it. Although he has worked at the job slightly longer than I have, it's kind of known by everyone that works there that he is almost incompetent at the job, and I have progressed much faster than him. Already a problem. Mm-hmm. Our workplace culture is unfortunately very cliquey, and certain staff members have the tendency to make life difficult for new starts that they don't like, to the point that Adam was transferred from a different branch to ours because of how much he and the other coworkers didn't get along. I sympathize with him when he first joined us because I had a run-in or two with other staff members who did the same thing to me when I first started there, so we had empathy for the man. I have always been respectful and helpful to Adam. I try to help him get up to speed where he needs it on the job. I help him get to the same level as the rest of us. However, my main reason for doing this is so he can stop messing things up at work and creating issues for others to fix. I think Adam has mistaken my helpfulness and friendliness as genuine friendship. When in reality, I have no interest in being friends with him outside of work. As harsh as it may sound, and it may make me sound like a B coworker, which I promise I'm not, we have one or two similarities, but nothing to form a friendship around. I also find his personality incredibly grating. Dang. And it takes a lot of energy for me not to lose my patience with him. Adam has verbal diarrhea. He talks a million miles an hour and is the biggest oversharer I've ever met in my life. He frequently talks about all the undiagnosed mental health issues he thinks he has, as well as those that his family and friends have. He also talks about all the drugs he has done. And intimate details about his personal life, amongst other things. I, on the other hand, am a very private person when it comes to these issues. I actually have diagnosed mental health issues, and it makes me extremely uncomfortable when he talks about these kinds of things. Now it has gotten to the point where he starts bothering me outside of work. He has texted me before once or twice, and I usually reply just to be nice, but now he's calling me in the middle of the night. I don't answer any of his calls because I know he will talk at me for ages if I let him, and I don't have the time for that. I do feel a little bad for him in a way, because I do not think he actually has, I actually do think he has some type of mental issue like ADHD, and it's not entirely his fault, but I don't have the patience for it when it comes to my own issues that I have to deal with. I need to set some boundaries with him, but I don't know how to do it without hurting his feelings, because if I do, he will never forget about it. How do I approach this?
Okay, so
this is one of the situations where we're just coworkers and you think we're besties.
I mean, so here's the thing. This sounds like it's coming from a person who does not know how to be direct.
And why are you calling my phone?
Because this sounds like there are times where direct communication is needed. Yeah. So it's like, hey, John, what's his name?
Adam.
Hi, Adam. Hey, Adam. It's like, so, okay, you're Adam. Adam, I really think you're a cool guy, but I really like to keep my work and personal life separate. So the chatting during work is great, but not outside of work. Like, please don't text me or message me late at night. I just want to, that's my personal time. I want to keep that to myself.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's good. And even not respond, that whole I feel bad thing. Yeah. Adam was a grown man. Adam's not a child.
Well, he may have a mindset of a child. It sounds like
he got the same job you got. So he's proficient enough to where, ADHD is not one of those mental illnesses where you don't understand social cues. So if he's on the spectrum, that's different. Right. But we don't even know if he's diagnosed with anything. He might just be a bugaboo. We don't know.
He might just be a bugaboo.
We don't know. But I think, saying hey, I love chatting with you at work, but I'm the type of person who only likes to do work at work. Right. It's not personal. I don't chat with anybody outside of work. Maybe doing it that way, it's not personal. I don't talk to anybody outside of work. It will make Adam not feel like it's personal to him.
Right, like it's an attack, or you don't like him. So you could avoid that, making him feel bad. Now, if you do have friends at work, that makes it more tricky.
Yeah. But not him texting back to be nice, stop doing that. Don't text back.
Yeah, don't text back. Don't do that.
If anything, the next day at work, be like, oh, I saw your text. I just don't text.
Yeah, I don't text people during
when I'm home.
I
don't pay attention to my phone at home.
Yeah, or I'm like back to I don't text work people late at night. No.
Mm-mm. I don't like it.
So yeah, that's an interesting story. Yeah. It's like it's hard to when people kind of like shun one person.
Yeah, you don't want to be a bully with them.
Right. Yeah. And then you're like, you want to be nice. You want to, not even be nice, just be a kind person. Yeah. But then they attach themselves to you.
Yeah. No, I think sometimes when you are just a genuine kind person, it's easy for people to cross your boundaries. Yes. Because they take your kindness for, this person's fine with everything that I do. And it's like, no. Right. I've always had that issue at work. Because I'm fun. I'm pretty funny most of the time. So most of my coworkers like me. But they don't realize, like, at 5 o'clock.
It's where they'll be like, and then you when you be like, I'm not talking to somebody, or you're like, you just leave work right away. Like, oh, that's rude. Yeah. It's like, I'm off of work. Yeah. Like, everything, it doesn't, I mean, there's a place and a time for camaraderie, but when the clock is over, the time is home.
And I've always been that person. When I first moved here, I worked in office. So I would get there on time. I would chit chat with everyone for like an hour or so, but the environment that I worked in when I first got here, they had all been working there for a very, very, very long time. So they had that whole we're family energy. So they did stuff after work. They went to kids' graduations. They did all the things. And so, like, I socialized with them. Like, I had relationships, fun, laughs with everyone. But I realized, like, they literally would hop around each other's offices all day. Just, like, talk and share their life and what we did today. And me and my boyfriend did it all day. And I'm like, this is too much. So I started closing my door. I would leave it open for, like, an hour at the beginning of the day and, like, an hour at the end of the day. But I would close my door, and it became an issue. Like, it came up. They complained to my boss about, like, me being antisocial. But I would chit-chat with them. Like, if we had an event, I'm laughing with them. Team meetings, I'm the one usually bringing the jokes. But, like, 6 hours a day, I kept my door closed.
Right, and then how are you productive if we're talking all day? Like, how are we not here to work? They were like, I do like talking, like taking breaks every 45 minutes or something. If in a workplace environment, I work from home now, so I only have to talk to my baby and my husband because we all be in the house. But when I was in the space, walking around maybe at once an hour or something like that.
No, they literally
but
rotated.
All day is nobody caring about the productivity here.
Yeah, and when my boss brought it to me, he was like, I'm trying to look out for you. I know you're new. And I was like,
are you not looking out for the work that needs to get done?
And I told him, I'm like, I'm just not. I said, although I have extrovert traits, I'm not an extrovert. Yeah. I get drained by just, like, it's different with people, like, that you know, because you don't have to, like, put on for them. But coworkers, you gotta be in a good mood all the time with those people. Yeah. You know, you gotta be on all the time with those people. So that drains me.
It is.
You know what I mean? So I'm like, I hear you and I try my best to be social. I'm like, but I can't. And we can't force it. You guys have been working together for 10 years. I'm new. So we can't force me to just jump in and be family with y'all the way, like, and so he understood and he didn't press it, but I could tell it was like an energy in the office because I would close my door.
I don't know. So were you the only black girl there?
There's one other. No, there's two other, but they would jump into the toxic stuff. I remember one girl, she was actually younger than me. I actually really, really liked her. And they were underpaying her. And I was like, girl, it's time for you to go. Like, cause I'm the type, like, you ain't getting paid. We're here to work. We're here to make money.
Exactly.
Okay? Yeah. And her whole reason for not leaving is because she was like, but I feel bad because her boss, they're really close. I don't want to leave her. And see, because now you're not making good decisions for your yourself, career.
Exactly.
She had an MBA. She was making much less than me, and I wasn't making much.
No way.
I wasn't making much. I took the job to move to Houston. And so the fact that she had an MBA, and it was her first job. Like, she graduated from this school and then went straight. So it was her first job. She'd been there 5 years, not making any money. And she's like telling me how she can't get her nails done and can't get because she ain't got no money. I was like, girl, you have an MBA.
Yes. You need to leave here and go someplace else. And don't, like, you're not, this person is not a family member. You don't have any obligation to them.
And are they looking out for you, letting you stay here making this type of money?
No, they're not.
They're not looking out for you.
They're not.
But that whole family thing was really hard for her to leave. She actually left because I was up that job for like 9 months. Like, that was literally my transition job. Like, I was applying as soon as I started. I was like, they didn't pay me enough. Right. Immediate. But for her, she just felt so bad leaving them because like, they're my family. Then we do.
No, they're not. We work together, and that's not. And I don't want to get misconstrued. This as like, don't be cordial. Don't have community. Don't build relationships with people that you work with. Yeah. But the places that want to make everything about family and make how we're all just one big happy family and let's all do these things together. Those lines, I do not like blurred lines in a workspace like that.
I don't like people like. I remember one time, I think it was her. She was out sick. Mm-hmm. So for all we know, she's out sick, but she was really close to the other girl of color. And so I remember when we were in our team meeting, they're like, "Oh, my boss like, oh, she's out sick," and the girl was like, "Yeah," because she knew she wasn't really sick. Oh, so stuff like that,
right? Like, not accidentally put me on blast.
But like that, she knew too much,
right?
Okay, when I'm faking sick, nobody knows.
Even my work friend thinks I'm sick.
I don't even drive around the area of my business when I'm faking sick. So I'm just like... Then she came back and worked the next day perfectly fine. I'm like, girl, you got to cough a couple days. You can't just come back in.
You got to cough a couple days?
Like, I just wanted to help her so bad, but I had to keep boundaries. I'm like, I don't know where her loyalties lie.
That's like on, you didn't watch Insecure.
No, not yet. I want to watch it.
I cannot believe it. There was a whole situation I could have talked about. Now, we can't talk about now. That's fine. But I definitely worked in a space where it was, everything they wanted to do was like family. Like, so like they would, the supervisor gifted one of her employees with a car. Help invest in their business. They was like that we're family.
But now there's obligation that this person might not want to have.
But then there's that. But then it's also, we're family, so I'm just gonna show up to work any type of way. I'm gonna do things any type of way. Yeah. So then that culture permeates throughout the newcomers, and it's like, we can kind of just do everything we want because we're family. She's gonna be lenient, or they're gonna be nice.
That's my friend.
He's gonna he or she is gonna understand. Yeah. So I can come to work late. I could just do whatever and drink on the job. Yeah, which happens more often than you think.
You'll be shocked.
More often than you think. Yeah. People drinking on the job. And so that structure is very loose because everybody feels like they're here to have a good time. We're here to, get to know each other, love on each other, and, have a family where it's like you can still be cool with people. You can still build relationship and fellowship with folks without having that family boundary crossed. Yeah. Because then it starts turns into something else when you let them go.
You got to do it proper. Like, I've worked with people that I know outside of work, right? Yes. But when we're at work,
I'm still friends with some of the people I used to work with.
I have, like, maybe one. But even still, like, I worked for NBC Universal, okay, when I first graduated. My friend from church got me that job. Like, she, like, gave me the job, pretty much. I didn't interview. I showed up at orientation. I remember when I walked into orientation, she taught me, like, probably the best. I'm like, hi. She's like, oh, hi, Crystal. And I was like, oh, hi. Yeah. Like, super professional. And she kept it that way. Even, like, I was reported to her for a while, and she treated all of us the same, although I knew her. You know what I mean? Yeah. So our one-on-one, she didn't act brand new with me. It was just more like, she was like, hey, it's to protect you and to protect me. Right. When we see each other at wherever else, we'll be like, she'll be my friend. Right. But at work, she's just like, no.
It's work. Yeah. So that's a great example. When you're friends with somebody out before you start working with them, and then you start working with them, having that boundary of, we cool, girl, but once we cross that work threshold, everything is by the book.
Yeah, and it's better. I mean, even my job now, I work with like 5 people that I know from the last 20 years of my life. Like, I know them. But in work meetings, we don't put on that I babysit her kids. Like, we don't put on. We act like normal, cordial, funny, friendly. We don't. Right. I don't even mention that I know her. Like, people ask me, like, oh, how'd you get here? Oh, I was referred by. I don't mention how we know it. I keep it because giving people too much information also gives them something they can use against you.
Not even that. It allows people to fill in, read in between the lines that don't need that. There's nothing to read there.
Right. So now if I get a promotion, they assume, right, because they know we know each other. Right. They don't need to know all that. Right. If there's nepotism, they don't need to know. Right. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, so it just protects you. It protects everyone. Like, keep strong boundaries. If you do work with your best friend, y'all have that conversation like when we're at work, we barely know each other. Okay?
Yes, okay. It's like I don't know you, you don't know me.
What's your name? Have we met? Like,
yes, exactly.
So we do have some tips for you all that we kind of compose. So the first ones are for employees with your boss. You want to go ahead?
Yes. So stay friendly and know that you're not BFFs. So be cordial and chatty, but if your boss knows your Netflix password, you might need to step back real quick. Don't need to be sharing no Netflix. You know what I'm saying? Right. Maybe go as far as, I'm about to pick up some lunch. You want something?
That's as far
as let's
you
go to lunch together.
And make sure you reimburse.
Right.
Pay them back.
Exactly. Y'all take turns getting lunches. Yes. Okay. Respect office hours, meaning that no one's answering emails at 3 a.m.
No.
Meaning don't text me at 9 p.m.
Nope.
Boundaries, and this, if you're a lawyer, I know that is really kind of like non-existent.
But it should be, because they have really high turnovers and high depression rates.
Yes. The law field is really, 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 really like extremely demanding.
Yeah.
And they want you to like give your entire life and soul.
Same for the medical field.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So if you can, try to find as many boundaries as you can. Maybe it's not all at once. Maybe you start taking small steps, because you also want to make sure that it's that there's that having to play the game and you have to be chummy in some workplaces so you can get ahead. So, but find a way to do that without giving everything of yourself. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
And then personal versus professional. If your boss asks about your weekend, give the PG version. They don't need to know about your epic karaoke
how many
night.
Drinks you had.
They don't need to know about your issues with your man.
Nope.
They don't need to know about none of that.
No. They don't need to know. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so for employers with your team. So you're the boss.
Yes.
Here's some boundaries. Lead, don't lurk. So be approachable, but don't hover like a helicopter parent. No one wants a boss who's a permanent fixture at your desk. Like, I remember I had a boss who, she had an office, but she sat in the cubicles with us, like an empty cubicle.
No.
And we're like,
why?
Office.
Go in the office.
But her thing was like, I like to be in the, she's the one who invited us to her wedding. I want to be in the mix, but it like added pressure to us.
If you're a supervisor, I know you want to connect with your teammates, but you need to set yourself apart. I believe, and especially in places where I've worked as a regular teammate and not as a supervisor or anything, I appreciate it when there is a line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think the energy sometimes is like, well, I want them to feel like I'm one of them, but no, you're not.
You're not.
And it adds pressure. Like, we're always like, okay, she got her off. Like, you gotta be in the cubicle, because we couldn't freely talk. We couldn't.
Right, because at the end of the day, you may want to be cool with me, but you're still going to do my evaluation.
Right. Right. And like the job I had, it was kind of like a call center type of energy. So sometimes you would make a mistake, and you want your coworkers kind of help you out, but she was always there. So the mistake always got to the boss.
Oh, yeah.
So it wasn't, don't be that person.
Yeah.
Number 2, keep it professional. Sharing a laugh is great. But if you start sending memes to your employees at night on Instagram, you're crossing a line.
That sounds like more like just inappropriate conduct in general.
Like, don't do it.
Yes.
And then even like the laughs you're having, make sure you're not making like inappropriate jokes. Especially because when the boss does it, it's harder for people to check it. Yeah. You know, if you make like an inappropriate joke or something that's like racial or political or religious, it's like, I'm going to laugh because you pay my check. You know what I mean?
Right, exactly.
Feedback.
Okay, go ahead. I say that's where that power dynamic comes, where all these lawsuits is coming up because you don't know how to approach that
in the moment,
and you want to keep your job.
Yeah. Feedback, not feud. Constructive criticism is good, but a full-on roast session is not.
Well, we had a whole section about roasting. We had a whole episode about roasting your boss.
But we want to roast them. We don't want you roasting me. That's making my money.
Yes.
Your feedback should help them grow, not cry.
Yes.
So whatever you're saying, if it's not helpful to their growth, then like you don't need to say it. You know.
But start off with wanting to contribute to their growth.
Yeah.
Having a boundary doesn't mean that you don't help your teammates, your employees grow.
Yeah.
One thing that I am a proponent of is whoever is working with me or working for me, I want to make sure that you reach your goals in this process. You get what you need to help build your skill set for whatever you want to do next. And so you can pour into your teammates without overstepping into the we're best friends, we're family space.
This one is in another subject, but I think it goes here. Clarity is key, because I think as the boss, you set the tone for work-life balance and boundaries.
Yes.
So even if you tell your employees, don't work over, don't, especially salary employees, like, you're off at this time, only 40 hours. You could tell them that. Don't send emails on the weekend. But if you're doing it, then they're still thinking, well, she did it. So I can send this email. Or I want to look good to her. So I'm going to work as hard as she's working.
Exactly.
So you have to be the one like, no, it's 5 o'clock. We're all leaving.
We're all leaving.
I'm not emailing on the weekend.
Yes.
It's not an emergency. Don't text my phone. Like, you have to set the boundary, even if you're telling them don't you do this. If you're doing it, they're following what you're doing. You're setting the culture.
You set the tone. You set the tone. You set the culture. That's right. Going back to that whole thing where people were drinking on the job, it's like, why do they feel like they can come to work drunk, or why do they feel like they can drink heavily on the job?
Yeah.
There's a system that's missing here. There's a process.
Yeah.
There is a code of conduct, policies, whatever. Something is missing. There is an example for sure, and there's a lack of leadership in this space.
Yeah.
So making sure you set all those things in place as the leader, as the boss, so that you can get the type of culture and the type of employees you want to have.
100%.
Yeah.
Healthy work-life balance employees.
They need to do as you do, not do as you say.
They're more likely to stay too if they're not burnt out.
Yes. Okay, social media smarts. Friendly colleagues on social media, fine. Commenting on every post, creepy.
Honestly, keep it to LinkedIn. I don't want you on my Instagram. I actually have gone, when I started a new job, I found them first and blocked them.
Oh, dang.
I've done that.
Jeez Louise.
So they don't even know I have it.
Cutthroat.
I've done that a couple times.
That's funny.
I see everyone on the team. I find their social media. Block.
I've never done that.
I've done it.
I've never thought to do that. But there's one job that I had it for a while, and I'm cool with them. So we follow each other on social media, but we never crossed the line of like family. Like we bonded over the ridiculousness of the place we worked. But we went to happy hours, and they even hosted my bridal shower.
Oh, okay.
So it was really nice. It was but we're still cool today, but it's we're not super close friends,
I get it. Fun versus foul. Happy hours can be fun, but remember, tequila is not the true serum. Keep it light and professional, even after a drink or two. Remember, boundaries are good fences that make good neighbors and great colleagues.
Yeah. So yes, don't out there trying to sip on some tequila and end up telling the truth on yourself.
Don't do it. Like, I really don't like you. What?
Woo! Right. Then get a little bold.
Yeah. Get a little flirty with the one you shouldn't be flirting with.
Getting flirty or getting swole up in the chest and want to go off on somebody at work.
Listen. So let's jump to things we wish we knew.
Yes. Go ahead. I wish I knew to set boundaries with people at work in my first job, because some people will flip on you. Okay. You say, if you want to start, I was real yappy in my first couple of jobs, telling all my business. I was doing exactly what I'm telling you not to do today. That's from personal experiences. And, telling about how I felt about this person at work and da-da-da-da. And lo and behold, it gets back to them. And I'm the one looking crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, don't do it. Never overshare. They are not your family. They are not your friends. And you're at this job to provide for yourself and your family. Remember your objective.
Yes.
So, with that being said, our objective is for you to subscribe.
Follow
us, share, like, comment, all the things.
Review.
Thumbs up. Review. Listen on all the platforms, gigglesandgoals.com to find all the streaming sites, all the ways to listen. You'll also find us on Instagram, TikTok, everywhere. Giggles and Goals. And also, I have a TikTok shop now. This shirt is from that. So if you want to buy this shirt, go ahead and get you a shirt. But yeah, follow us. You can find our personal pages on our Giggles and Goals page. We always tag each other. So follow us.
Yes, and new episodes every Thursday. So tune in. They will be available first thing in the morning.
Love y'all.
Bye.
Bye.